long day of fishing today, very long, and I learned a valuable lesson. And that lesson was never underestimate your opponent, the fish. And while I set up some stuff on my workbench to show you the lesson that I learned, you watch this clip and the rest will kind of tell you what happened. This episode of Flats Class YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring. Wow. Worth the wait, huh? Worth the wait. Not saying a word. Put the anchor on. Oh.
Yeah, that was
Worth the leader.
that one jump looked like it got into his plate.
The agony of defeat. That white was the right color to put on.
I wouldn't say that.
I hate losing fish because I wasn't prepared. And that's exactly what happened there. Now, in a typical day of fishing, flats fishing on my boat, I really carry everything from 15 to 40 pound leader on the boat. And that's just in case I get into a scenario where I know we're gonna be fishing some dirty water, or we're gonna have toothy critters like Spanish mackerel or whatever, and I wanna have that 40. But I also carry that 15 because I'm expecting on the tougher days, post front, that the fishing could be so challenging that you need to drop down. Now, those two leader weights are at the extreme end. I also carry 20, 25, and 30. Now, me personally, when I'm fishing in April and early May and moving forward, I like to fish with 30 pound. That's what I like to fish with because I have a legitimate shot of catching snook that way. And we have a lot of snook here, believe it or not, on the Nature Coast. A lot of you guys always, or the feedback I get from you guys when we're fishing or answering questions is, oh, I always start with 20 or 25 at the most because I don't want to miss a fish because they're leader shy. Well, that little clip kind of proves why I like to have 30, because I lose a lot of good fish if I drop below 30. So I always start with 30, and that's the question I want to answer today, because today we were faced with bluebird skies, beautiful weather. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Other than the wind, beautiful weather. And the pressure was up, and the fish seemed like they might have been leader shy, and I cut the 30 off, and I went to 20. And when you go to 20, well, you get heartbreak, and that's what happened. So, I'm going to show you a trick or two that you can do. Now, you already know about my step down leader trick, and if you don't know that trick, watch the video. It's right here on my YouTube channel. All you got to do is find it in the library. But there's another trick you can also do. You can lengthen the leader because sometimes, you know, you think, oh, well, 2 feet of leader is long enough, 30 inches is long enough. And in most reaction bait scenarios, it is long enough. But when you're fishing in these type of conditions, sometimes it's necessary to have 3, 4, and sometimes even 5 feet of leader. And if I would have just went to probably 4 foot of 30 pound leader, that probably wouldn't have happened. But I want to show you kind of the knot and the way I tie this thing up real quick. And as soon as we get done with that, I'm going to send you right back to the action right now while I'm working on getting this kind of put together. a good one too, man.
That's what I said. You don't even know
He did not even know he's hooked. Might be the best one. And that 30-pound leader, definitely the deal. 30-pound leader. Gotta have it. Look at this one's full grown. Oh yeah, you filled the net up. Filled the net up. That's a pretty good too. Fired up, mad. That's a chunk there. That is a chunk. Talk about top slot fish. Whoa. Do you see the success that you can have when you use the right leader weight? It's pretty easy. All right, quick knot that I like to tie. It's kind of a modified Albright. I take the heavier leader, which is 30-pound in this case, and I've got a long length of it. All right, so I like to fold it over, let's just say 10 inches or so. And then I'm going to take the lighter braid, which in this case is on a spinning rod. So it's going to be 10-pound. This is 10-pound Power Pro. And I like to fold it over, get a loop like that, and then run the braid through there. And I'll pull maybe 8 or 10 inches through there. Pinch it off. I'm going to try to get it where I can get my finger in here. Pinch it off, and then I'm going to go around the double leader about 6 times because I doubled that leader material up. 5. That's about 6 times right there. And then I'm going to go back over the top, and I'm going to wrap back up it 6 times. I want to show it to you guys. It's hard to do it on the phone here. But I'm basically just going all the way back up later. And if you look up modified Albright, you'll see this knot. Got it to roll over. Then I like to come in the same direction that I came out. So it starts to look like this. See how I'm drawing this together? And I draw it together. All the strands, all 4 strands, I'm drawing it together. Now you're gonna have to lube it up real good. And I'm gonna continue to pull on it because I want it to get real tight. Now I'm gonna hold on to the leader side, the 2 strands of leader here. And now I'm only gonna pull on one of these, which is the longer end, not the tag end, the main line end. And I'm gonna draw it all the way up tight. Now, see if you guys can see that knot. I'm gonna trim it super tight. Super tight, I'm gonna show you that knot. That modified knot there, if you can see it, is very small. The braid goes over the leader. Let me clean it up. I'm gonna show you how small this knot is because it can go in and out your guides. Because the whole idea behind this is that you can reel up the leader through the guides and not damage your rod. So let me clip this off with these ceramic scissors, which do a good job cutting braid. And like I said, there's a lot of videos on professional knot tires. You know, this is something I'm trying to do for you. You can see it. Clip it there. Clip it really tight on this side. And the finished knot looks like that. If you can see that. It's a pretty small knot. And it allows me to reel that knot and all that leader up. 30 pounds, a 30-pound leader weight. And I made this one about 5 feet long, so it'll let me whittle it up. But that is not a bad knot to go through the guides. It's a lot more I'm going to say user-friendly than a uni knot would be, because you don't have all those tag ends. It's nice and clean. Here's a close-up look. You can see exactly how small that knot is. It's very small. And 30-pound leader and 10-pound Power Pro Slick 8V2 is a lot of difference, but that looks pretty good. And that's a knot that will go in and out of the guides super smooth, and it will hold for a big, big fish. I promise you. Now you can use a no-name knot, a Yucatan knot. You can use the standard Albright knot, which I find is a little bit longer than this knot. I just like this one because if I go up 6 times up that double line and then wrap back over the top of that 6 times, come back through the loop in the same direction that I stuck the braid through the first time and tighten it all up evenly. The whole idea is to do it nice and even and slow with both until it comes almost to, and then drop the tag on the braid and just take the single strand of braid and tighten it slowly a little bit more until it won't move. And then you can trim it very, very tight after that, and it looks great, and it goes through those knots so smoothly. Once again, if you guys like what you're seeing here on Flats Class YouTube and you're learning stuff, heck, I'm learning stuff here. If you're learning stuff, give us the thumbs up. Hit the notification bell when the new videos pop up, and tell your friends, share these videos. It's our job here at Flats Class YouTube to make you a better angler. That's all I'm saying. I want to make you guys a little bit better every time you hit the water, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow. And I need to get out there and clean my boat and get the new King Orange from Yeti. Half full of Pilar, half full of ice. Get out there and start washing the boat. Till next time, see you guys on Flats Class YouTube.